What is going on, world? Welcome to the Dynamic One Sports Show. And this is the first time in a long time that we've been able to do something like this. So I'm happy to be back. This video is going to be uploaded onto YouTube, and there's going to be some audio version of it as well. That's going to be going out as a podcast, so you guys just be on the lookout for that. Basically, what I'm going to be talking about. After a wild week 18 in the NFL, we are going to be getting into the playoff predictions. Yes, we're going to be doing a playoff prediction video. But before we do that, if you could just do me a favor, hit the like button, share it with your friends, let them know. We got some great sports content coming out. This is going to be a channel that's going to be dedicated to a lot of NFL stuff, NBA stuff, college football, stuff like that. So just be on the lookout. Again, I'm super happy to be getting this back up and going. This is great. For those of y'all that don't know me, my name's Rico. We finna go ahead and just get into it. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to be going through the playoff picture. We're going to start just with the wildcard weekend in this video. Just the wildcard weekend. We're not going to go through the entire slate. I kind of just want to go week by week and just kind of see how we feel about that and then go from there. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into it. We got the first game of Super Wildcard Weekend coming up. It's going to be the Seattle Seahawks going back to San Francisco to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Now, in this matchup, I really do feel like I like how Geno and these boys, fought hard at the end of the season just to make it to the playoffs. So shout out to them. Congrats to Geno and the Seahawks. They did a great job. For me, he is my comeback player of the year. I might do a video on that later, but I see him as a comeback player of the year. I like what this offense has been able to do. I was on the Geno Smith hype train for MVP early on in the season. For those of y'all that may not know that, I was a Geno fan. I still am. I like Geno. But when you look at the San Francisco 49ers defense and you look at what the momentum is like for them with Brock Purdy, this offense with George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, and they might be getting Deebo Samuel back. Not 100% sure about that. But that is in the works. You got a rookie 7th round pick, Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft, who's been leading the Seahawks, the San Francisco 49ers, on a tear. And it's been pretty fun to watch, man. Nobody thought that he could do it. A lot of people were looking at the situation when Jimmy G went down, that this was going to be it for them. And enter Brock Purdy, who's in the conversations for Rookie of the Year. I don't think he's going to win it, but with his play over the last few weeks, he's definitely had that chance to put himself in that conversation. With all that being said, I am going to take the 49ers to win this game. I think they will win it by a score of 35-21. I just love what the defense is doing. I think the Seahawks and Geno Smith and those guys are going to fight. But I do think it's going to be the 49ers that walk out with this one. Now, going into this next game, it's the matchup of the night. I go back to the 49ers. The Los Angeles Chargers against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars, last 2 years, have had the number 1 overall pick. They were last in the division last year, and they jumped from last to first, taking the AFC South from the Tennessee Titans in a winner-take-all game this past weekend. So they will be hosting my Los Angeles Chargers. And for a lot of people, this is the matchup of Super Wildcard Weekend. You got 2 young quarterbacks that are coming in for the first time in the playoffs. Justin Herbert in his 3rd year is going to be making his playoff debut along with Trevor Lawrence. So 2 up-and-coming high-quality quarterbacks that are going to be really raring to go. I'm a little bit concerned just for the Mike Williams injury. He got hurt in the season finale against the Denver Broncos, so I'm a little bit worried about that. And with the 49ers, I keep going back to the 49ers. With the Jacksonville Jaguars, I know they have a lot of momentum. We do as well. It's going to be a close game. It is going to be a close game. I love what the Jaguars have with Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence, Evan Ingram, Christian Kirk. These guys have been growing on me all season. They've been a great team. They're a great story. Doug Peterson has done well for them in his first year. But with that being said, I am going to shake my Chargers. This is going to be a score of 35-32. I do think they're going to be leaning on the defense a little bit to kind of help stop Trevor Lawrence and these boys. But it's going to be a fun game nonetheless. I do think that the Chargers come out on top on this one, 35-32. Then you go over to Sunday. You got the triple header slate. You got the Bills and the Dolphins, you got the Vikings and the Giants, and then you have the Bengals and the Ravens. Now, the Bills and the Dolphins is going to be the 3rd time they've met up this season. going to be a little bit iffy with them with the Dolphins because you're not necessarily 100% sure who's going to be a quarterback. It's going to be tricky to kind of figure out. I think they will probably roll out Teddy Bridgewater because I don't know if they're going to roll with Skylar Thompson, the rookie. He did what he could to kind of get them in position to win the game yesterday against the Jets. But if you throw him out there against that Buffalo Bills team, who's like a team of destiny right now, I feel like it's just going to be extremely difficult for him to go out there and do that against these boys. So I'm going to take the Bills. We'll say 32-14. 32-14. I feel like the Bills have too much momentum on their side. It's going to be all hands on deck. They're going to be doing this for Damar Hamlin, which, he's been getting better, so thank God for that. May he continue his progress. But I do like what the Bills have been doing. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Nyheim Hines, who had 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns against the Patriots. You can't go against that. Again, it's a team of destiny, so we'll take that into account. Next up, you have the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants. I've been wanting to call the Minnesota Vikings frauds pretty much the entirety of this season because they are 11-0, I think, in one-score games, and they have a negative plus minus differential in terms of points. You can't win that many close games and not expect to lose at some point, and I feel like that luck is going to come to an end this week against the Giants. Strangely enough, I have the Giants winning against the Vikings in this game. Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Brian Daboll on this team. This is Brian Daboll's first year as a head coach, and he's gotten them to the playoffs. So shout out to him. Congratulations. In a very loaded, tough NFC East division, which is kind of crazy to think about over the past couple of years. But I do like the fact that I just don't think that Minnesota's going to be able to keep this luck going. At some point or another, it's going to run out, and I feel like Super Wildcard Weekend is the day that is going to happen. So I will take the Giants 28-17. Relatively low. I say relatively low scoring. But I just feel as though the Giants are going to be really raring to go. And the last time they played these boys, they almost won. They really almost won. So, it's going to be another rematch. So give me the Giants 28-17. And then finally, on the Sunday slate, you have another rematch that just happened yesterday. Bengals and the Ravens, who Ravens came out looking kind of iffy, and the Bengals came out hot because they didn't want to take any chances with the potential of a coin flip determining who was going to win. And they weren't having it. They were not having it. They came out firing all cylinders. I do think it is going to be the same result, although it's going to be iffy because I don't know if the Ravens are going to have Lamar Jackson. It's just still kind of on the fence of whether or not he's going to play or not. You have Tyler Huntley, who is going to be waiting in the wings, possibly ready to go. I know he's still dealing with an injury. So the Ravens just started a rookie quarterback yesterday in Anthony Brown. Too much momentum for the Bengals. They were coming out ready to go. They were pissed. So I doubt they're going to be taking any missteps or anything like that going into this game. So the Bengals will come out on this one. I'm going to give it about the same scores I've given a lot of these, in terms of it's going to be a little bit different in terms of, the Ravens scoring a lot. If they have Lamar, maybe this game will be a little bit closer. But for me personally right now, it is going to be the Bengals taking this one 35-14. All right. And then we go to the finale of Super Wildcard Weekend, the Monday night game, the Bucs hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Now, if you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady, and I looked this stat up, and I was actually writing on this. This is the first time in his career that he has had a losing season. He's been in a cellar dweller of a division this past year. This NFC South has been horrible. And you look at this Dallas Cowboys team having to go into Tampa to beat Tom Brady and the Bucs, which is, in my opinion, it could happen. I feel like the Dallas Cowboys could win this game. But you look at what the Dallas Cowboys did this past week against the Washington Commanders. The Commanders were already out of the playoffs. They were playing a rookie quarterback in his first start, third string. And the Dallas Cowboys just looked flat. They just really did look flat. They didn't come out with any high energy. It just looked like they were just kind of going through the motions. And for me personally, I don't think that's the type of momentum you want to have going into the postseason. So for me, as much as I hate to say it, because I'm not really a Cowboys fan, I'm not really a Tom Brady fan. That's just kind of how I am. But for me personally on this one, I'm going to have to roll with Tom Brady and the Bucs. 27-24. 27-24. That is how I see this. That is what is going to happen. And that is going to be another season of disappointment for the Dallas Cowboys and their fans, because it seems like every year they have the notion of, we're going to win the Super Bowl, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Y'all aren't winning the Super Bowl playing like that, like y'all did yesterday. I'm sorry. There's no way possible you're not going to do it. So that's just the kind of way I see it. But that is going to be my predictions for the Super Wildcard weekend. I'm going to do this week by week with the different playoff matchups. Next week, we will be going into more of the divisional round after those games are done. If you guys do want to do me a favor, like I said, hit the like button, share this. I'm going to put my socials at the end so you guys can kind of follow me on social media as well. But again, this is going to be a fun weekend. Super Wildcard weekend is going to be insane. It's going to be hot. It's going to be off the wall. Football galore, and you're going to love to see it. But in the meantime, I will see you guys later. This is Rico signing out, and tell your friends about me.